Meghan Markle's mum is ready to tell the world about the race hate her family has suffered since her daughter's engagement to Prince Harry. Doria Ragland is expected to open her heart in an unprecedented interview with American TV superstar Oprah Winfrey. The pair met for 6 hours last weekend at Oprah's £70 million California hacienda and thrashed out ideas for the interview. The explosive chat will go ahead if Buckingham Palace gives the green light. And there could be no bigger TV stage than appearing on Oprah, who has grilled the good and the great, the famous and the fallen, including the likes of cycling drugs cheat Lance Armstrong, 46. Oprah's show attracts 16 million viewers in the States, but the global viewing figures for this must-see interview would dwarf that number. The news comes just a fortnight before Meghan, 36, weds 33-year-old Harry at St George's Chapel, Windsor. Meghan's father Thomas, 73, is Caucasian and Doria, 61, is African-American. Harry is fond of his future mum-in-law and has previously said during a chat about Meghan, "Her mum's amazing." Meghan herself has spoken about the hurt race jibes cause. In November she said it was disheartening to receive negative attention about her ethnicity in the early days of her relationship with Harry. Then in February a malicious letter was sent to the couple at St James's Palace in a package which also contained white powder. Police called it a racist hate crime, and said an anti-terror team was investigating. Now Doria wants to reveal how the awful abuse has affected her family. A US TV source said, Oprah and Doria spent a long time chatting and they got on really well. The most important and significant issue they spoke about was race and how badly some people had reacted to Meghan and Harry. What happened to Meghan and Harry was disgusting and they and all of their families were horrified. It's an issue close to both Doria and Oprah, who have both suffered racism. If the interview happens it will be groundbreaking. It just needs the green light from Meghan, Prince Harry and the palace. Doria, who lives in Los Angeles, was seen leaving with gifts after the meeting with Oprah, 64. The TV star has previously referred to a generation of bigots, born and bred and marinated in racism, who would never change their ways, but that they would die out. Oprah is considered a national treasure in the States and after a rousing speech at the Golden Globes was even tipped to become president. Harry has himself been forced to confront racists. A statement issued on the royals' behalf in late 2016 said, his girlfriend has been subject to a wave of abuse and harassment. Some has been very public, the smear on the front page of a national newspaper, the racial undertones of comment pieces, and the outright sexism and racism of social media trolls and web comments. In January, then UKIP leader Henry Bolton's girlfriend Jo Marnie was suspended from the party over insulting text messages which suggested Meghan will taint the royals and pave the way for a black king. But such rhetoric was nothing new for Meghan, who has spoken of the racism she faced growing up in LA. She previously wrote in LUK, to describe something as being black and white means it is clearly defined. Yet being biracial paints a blurred line that is equal parts staggering and illuminating. Royal biographer Andrew Morton told how Meghan was once asked if she wanted to join a club for white girls only. In Meghan, a Hollywood princess, he wrote, so-called Mean Girls announced they were starting a white girls only club and wanted Meghan to join. Are you kidding me? Said Meghan to the gaggle of pupils, dismissing them in a sentence. They went very quiet after that. Meghan has also spoken of the difficulties she faced defining her mixed race. She said, there was a mandatory census in my English class, you had to check one of the boxes to indicate your ethnicity, white, black, Hispanic or Asian. There I was, my curly hair, my freckled face, my pale skin, my mixed race, looking down at these boxes, not wanting to mess up, but not knowing what to do. You could only choose one, but that would be to choose one parent over the other, and one half of myself over the other. My teacher told me to check the box for Caucasian. Because that's how you look, Meghan. I put down my pen. Not as an act of defiance, but rather a symptom of my confusion. I couldn't bring myself to do that, to picture the pit in her belly sadness my mother would feel if she were to find out. So, I didn't tick a box. I left my identity blank, a question mark, an absolute incomplete. Much like how I felt. I told my dad what had happened. He said the words that have always stayed with me: if that happens again, you draw your own box. Meghan's parents will meet the Queen in the days before her wedding. Kensington Palace confirmed Dad Thomas will walk Meghan down the aisle, and Doria will also have an important role. Harry's mum, Princess Diana, who died aged 37, will also be remembered in the ceremony. Thomas will travel from Rosarito, Mexico, next week and meet Harry for the first time. He and Doria will also meet the Queen, Prince Philip, Prince Charles and Camilla, and Prince William and his wife Kate. A spokesman said, Prince Harry and Ms. Markle are very much looking forward to welcoming Ms. Markle's parents to Windsor for the wedding. Ms. Markle is delighted to have her parents by her side.
Well, there are just 2 weeks to go until Prince Harry and Meghan Markle tie the knot, and royal wedding fever is in full swing. It has just been revealed who will walk Meghan down the aisle. So for the answer, let's go to our reporter Sarah Best, who is in Windsor for us. Good morning, Sarah. What do we know?
Good morning. Well, Kensington Palace has revealed quite the family affair, with both Meghan Markle's parents involved in the big day. Tom Markle, Meghan's father, will walk her down the aisle, and in a bit of a break from tradition, her mother, Doria Raglan, will escort her from where she's staying to the chapel. Now, both parents will arrive in London a week before the wedding, where they're going to meet the Queen, Prince Charles, Camilla, William, Kate, and of course Prince Harry. Tom Markle actually hasn't met his future son-in-law yet. Now, the Kensington Palace has also revealed today that while Harry will have his big brother William standing by his side as best man, Meghan has opted not to have a maid of honour. Instead, her bridal party will consist purely of children, page boys and bridesmaids. In a nod to Prince Harry's mother, Princess Diana, her sister will do a reading at the wedding. And as for more details, they will be revealed in the coming days and weeks. We're expecting to hear who those page boys are, who those bridesmaids are, whether Prince George and Princess Charlotte will play a part on the day. And we're going to hear more about the flowers and more about the cake. One thing that is being kept very closely guarded secret is the dress. We're not going to hear a thing about that until that moment when Meghan steps out of the car and into the public spotlight for the first time on May 19.
And after that, it is all we will hear about. Sarah Bears, thank you. Yeah, God, quite the pressure.
Well, there'll be a lot of speculation. I remember it was with the Duchess of Cambridge, a lot of speculation about everything.
Yep.
But do you remember with Princess Diana, because they actually announced who her dress designer was ahead of time, and they ended up having to bring in a safe. Elizabeth Emmanuel, they had to put these shutters. They couldn't put anything in the bin. Like there was people stalking the actual dress shop. So they've learnt their lesson from that, I think.
Fun and games.
I think she has the right idea with the children as the bridal party. That's what I did. They're always so cute.
And it's not controversial then.
No, exactly. You're not leaving anyone out.
Thanks, Jane.
Meghan Markle is set to walk down the aisle with her dad when she marries Prince Harry in 2 weeks. You getting excited?
Not really, but, you know, it's lovely.
OK. Kensington Palace released... Are you excited about this? New details about the upcoming wedding overnight. And joining us with the royal lowdown is 7 European Bureau Chief Hugh Whitfeld. Good morning, Hugh. It's going to be quite a traditional affair.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, look, inside St George's Chapel, it will be incredibly traditional. It will be a full Anglican service. And they will be getting married in the chapel of the Order of the Garter, so surrounded by these incredible flags and motifs of members of the Order of the Garter, but there are some non-traditional aspects of the day as well. Instead of travelling to the church with her father in the car, as most brides would do, Meghan's going to be travelling with her mother, Doria Ragland, and Thomas Markle, her father, will meet her and walk her down the aisle. Now, there's been all sorts of controversy about how much of involvement her parents would have, especially her father, who she seems to be fairly estranged from now, but he will be there and he will walk her down the aisle.
Yeah, it'd be a massive moment for him as well, with 1 billion people watching. Now, we understand that Meghan and Harry want Princess Diana's family to be involved. What are they going to be doing?
Yeah, so Diana's siblings will be there. The Earl Spencer, who of course gave that incredible eulogy back at Diana's funeral 20 years ago, and Harry's aunt, Lady Jane Fellows, who was Diana's elder sister, will deliver the reading. So a fairly heavy involvement of Diana's family during the ceremony. And in terms of the rest of the guest list, we're not actually going to be told who the guests are. It's going to be up to us, essentially, to be able to identify people that we know the faces of, that we see in the crowd, because they are maintaining that this is a private wedding.
So when Mon and I pop up there, it'll be a big surprise to everybody. Just before we go, members of the public who are attending the royal wedding are being told to take something by the palace. What is that?
Yeah, they're being told to take a picnic. It is going to be a long day. The wedding doesn't start until midday. There are going to have to be people getting there at 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. They will be camping out for days in the lead up as well to try and secure positions in and around Windsor, close to the big screens and good vantage points, so that you can see the carriage go past with Harry and Meghan as newlyweds after the ceremony. So people are going to be taking food. We got told today that when people get a park and float, so they park the car in a car park, they're going to get on a boat to go down the Thames to get to the wedding, that they'll be served a glass of Pimm's on the boat. So it's very fancy.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it?
Good on you.
So British, isn't it?
Thank you, Hugh. Hugh's excited.
Hugh is super. Look at him.
Excited.
Look at his face. He's extremely excited.
Big
People
day.
have been complaining, these people, that members of the public that have been invited in to be sort of part of it. I think it's about 1,100 people, is it, Hugh, that have been invited in?
Yeah, it'll be about 1,200 people.
Right,
yeah.
and they're complaining because they're being asked to take their own lunch to a wedding.
Can't cater for everybody, can they?
No.
I think it's nice that she's included Dad. Obviously, there's family issues there, but you only do it once. Well, you hope. She's doing it twice, isn't she? It's her second time, but I think it's very nice that she's included her father.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised.
I really feel for them, because everyone's got stuff in their families.
Of course.
And it's just highlighted.
Very surprised this is the first time that Prince Harry's going to meet him, though.
Imagine the stress there when the Queen's right there as well.
So close.